E and P, the party analogy. What does that mean? First of all, E and P, emotional and physical, sexuality, although I usually say personality. It's a little misleading if we say sexuality. But if you haven't watched the other videos that I've done already about emotionals and physicals, go watch them. Otherwise, maybe this is a nice little intro for you. So what does that mean? So emotionals and physicals are like personality traits. We tend to attract the opposite. So if we're emotional, we tend to attract the physical. And if we're a physical, we tend to attract an emotional. See how that works? Regardless of gender, whoever we're attracted to for gender, that's who we were attracted to as far as physical and emotional, the opposite. Usually our balanced opposite. So the party analogy, what does this mean? So let's say an emotional and a physical are at a party. First of all, the emotional probably doesn't want to be there, or they're there, but doesn't go to parties very often, doesn't want to stay very long, and kind of has to spend have a lot of alone time to work up to going to the party. It's like an introvert type of thing. Not necessarily that all emotionals are introverts, but they seem to have that tendency. So what do they like at a party? So an emotional, or we call an emo, maybe not the emo that maybe you've heard of lately, but an E, an emotional at a party, they're the ones that are sort of off to the side and they're having that deep conversation with one person, maybe one person, the entire party. So they're over there and just this philosophical thing, and it's not fluffy, surfacey stuff. It's deep, and they're talking about the weight of the world or whatever it is they're talking about, but they're really engrossed and they're really focused on each other. In the physical, they're just jumping around. They're bouncing around to everybody. They may actually talk to every single person in the room, but it's just boop, boop, boop. They sort of they like check-ins with everyone. Hey, do you need a new drink? Another drink? Do you need something? Hey, blah, blah, boop, boop, boop. They talk to everyone. So this is how they see each other. The emotional, who's with that one person, looks at the physical. Oh, I wish I could be like that. I wish I could have that outgoing nature that I could just feel free to just talk to anyone and just bounce around. And they just seem to have so much confidence, right? But the physical looks at that emo and goes, I would love to be like that. Look, they're so deep. I would love to have they might even say confidence, to be able to actually sit with one person and have that deep conversation about something and not feel like I had to go around and talk to everyone. I would love to have the courage, the confidence to do that. So they're both attracted to the qualities that the other person has, which is great. And that's how the polarity happens. That's how there's sort of a magnetic attraction between the two types. What could happen later on, though, is the physical, as they're dating and emotional for a while, is like, oh, and the emotional never wants to go out. They always want to stay in. I have to drag them out. But they tend to become more physical or more emotional. And the emotional is like, the physical always wants to go out. We're out there talking to everyone. I just kind of want to stay in sometimes, just be the two of us, or have some alone time, maybe do my hobbies, whatever it is. So these things that were this strength, whether it's courage or confidence or whatever it was at first, might be accentuated or not, but at some point they might be seen as sort of a detriment, as sort of the thing you didn't like about the person. That's why I had a lot of people coming to me saying, when I asked, so who do you want to date? And if they were already outgoing, they're like, I only want to date people who are outgoing and extroverted. They were probably dating an emotional in the past and felt like they weren't going out or being as social as they would have liked to have been. So there are many ways around that, which we'll talk about here, but that's a little bit of a taste for what an E and P are like out in the world, and in this case, out in the world at a party. So hopefully that helped. Put your comments below, send me a DM if you want to ask me something else more privately, and I'll address it in another video. Otherwise, I will see you on that next video.